to infinity and beyond. Whew. Sorry about that, folks. I just have to do a personal audio expression. So, hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sylvester the Cat here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party 2 for the Nintendo 64. So, last weekend is the fact that we have managed to able to play through Western Land, and overall we did have a very good time on that board. And today for this episode is the fact that, or should I say, specifically for this weekend, is the fact that we are moving on to the third board in the game, known as Spaceland, where once again, much like the forms of the original Mario Party, we're going back into outer space. Except this time, we now ended up on a space station, which will become stable until Mario Party 5, as well as Mario Party 8, and even Mario Party 9, and that's as far as I can say about this for the most part. Well, I don't know if I can usually count Rocket Road from the likes of Mario Party Island Tour or something, but then again though, it has been a while since I actually played those titles, just because I'm more into, you know, the superior Hudson Soft Mario Party games after all, because I can definitely see why most fans were expected able to replay those games again, so yeah, I digress. So as you can tell right there, I'm going to be playing as Wario for the sake of this board, just because I just feel like trying to play as him on this particular third board in the whole entire game. Although sure, I probably won't get to play as him as much as in this game, so either way though. Yeah, this is what Spaceland looks like. As I said before, it's like a space station. And also as you can see from over there, we got ourselves a police building, which you can able to actually set a trap on. But the main emphasis on this board is this center part of the board. Every time you come towards this part right there, the number will decreases by 1, and every time when you come towards that particular diagonal section, the main emphasis on the thing you have to worry about is, of course, the Bowser's Coin Laser Beam. And when the actual countdown goes to 0, the Bowser's Coin Laser Beam will become active, assuming if someone else managed to get involved on that particular diagonal section. Like, for example, if I still stuck onto that particular diagonal section over there, right where the forms of the Bowser's Coin Laser Beam was, and what they're about to be firing at, and then basically if you manage to get involved with that particular Bowser Coin Laser Beam route, basically you will lose all of your coins, so yeah, so you have to watch out for that. It kind of does the same thing as the forms of how it does it in Mario Party 3, which will pointings out when Sonic were able to actually get into Mario Party 3 until at some point next year. So because of this though, because of that though, today's day is of course the 21st of November today, in this case in 2020, and speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog is the fact that since that Sonic and Knuckles have already mentioned about the forms of, since about the fact that recently yesterday, that, you know, they've already mentioned about the fact that recently Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for the Nintendo Switch has recently released, well, yesterday. So because of this though, I'm not exactly sure what the reviews are going to be like. Well, I probably should find it out until at some point whenever I continue uploading this, potentially. So, and of course I forgot able to do with those usual settings like fast measured speed and also save every single turn, and that way we shouldn't able to actually worry about the actual technical difficulties in terms of my capture card recording. So, but I digress. But yeah, as far as I think if I sort of mentioned about this, or maybe not, but speaking of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, basically I did try out the demo ever since about a month ago, and for I've played it's actually pretty alright, even though there are some frame rate issues. So even then though, we're going back into the forms of how it does it in the original Hyrule Warriors, well, specifically the Wii U version frame rate problems, which even then though, that doesn't make that much sense to me per se, but I just really hope that in the final release of the game, that I'm sure Sonic and Knuckles has already mentioned about this before. Oh, actually, I'll get into more on that later, because we have a new minigame to play around with. That is Sky Pilots. So, the player steering the plane and the player flapping the wings must cooperate to reach the finish line first. So luckily for me, I'm going to be taking control of the actual plane. And then the teammate of mine, specifically Yoshi, he's going to be able to deal with the flapping wings. Even though I'm not exactly a huge expert when it comes to utilize the wings and stuff like that, because I'm more into steering, because it's actually pretty easy. So, yeah, I digress. Then as you can see, we actually come across into those rainbow rings, where every time you fly through those rainbow rings, you get yourself an extra boost. So, there's not much else to say about this, apart from the fact that there are some hazards that you need to try to avoid, which there are those cannonballs in the distances, as well as the forms of those Bowser balloon bombs, and because of that though, you really definitely need to avoid those exponentially. So no, originally though, is the fact that ever since this is actually my third time doing my commentary and stuff like that for the sake of this part right here, the truth is though, is the fact that ever since, you know how the fact that, you know, Sonic & Knuckles has already mentioned about the fact that sadly that Epic Mickey Let's Play has been cancelled due to the forms of, you know, complications or anything like that. Actually, I'll get into more on that later, because first new record in Mario Party 2. Yeah, much like in Mario Party 1, and especially noticeable with Mario Party 3, every time if you achieve a new record, then it gets like a different jingle. So that seems cool enough, even though it's kind of a shame that we didn't seem to able to hear that anymore ever since the Journey forms have been the future games. Even though it does a little bit of a slight short jingle from the likes of, let's just say Mario Party 5 all the way up to Mario Party DS at some form or another, but usually that's as far as I can usually just try to say about this for the most part, so, excuse me. So, again, there's not much else I can usually say about this, honestly, guys, because usually, relatively speaking, is the fact that, you know, as far as I'm aware, that this is actually my third time doing this commentary, just because the first two commentary of, specifically with, the first part of, Spaceland, if you couldn't tell, it did took me a lot of, like, tries to able to actually get my commentary skills right, and also because of how the fact that I'm pretty sure that the previous two, commentary voice clips of mine, rather, they kind of feels like outdated every now and then, especially because, well, obviously, since how the fact that, you know, Duffy Ducky's still gonna be working on Team Sonic Racing, and, recently, Sonic & Knuckles are basically now onto the halfway point in their Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. So, eventually, whenever we did manage to caught up in the terms of, you know, Super Smash Bros. Series of Let's Plays, like, we've already done Melee from 2016 and 17, and Brawl from 2017, and then eventually at this point that, Sonic & Knuckles will able to actually finish up with Super Smash Bros. For the 64, until at some point next month, if eventually that's gonna happen. And of course we got Platform Peril again, since I think I actually lost to this last time, so hopefully I should be able to actually win this time, so... Yeah, anyway, and hopefully by that time, if we get enough time for likely we're about to be doing the next installment of the Super Smash Bros. Game, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, or 3DS for that matter, before we get on to Ultimate, even though that it might be depending of such, just because of time constraints, or maybe it's because we're focusing on any other series for that matter, so there we go, now I finally win this particular minigame at long last. So anyway, recently, another thing I should probably point out right away is the fact that, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I recently went back onto Rio for the Xbox 360 version, so that way I managed to able to catch up on my progression after the events of my, what I've managed to no longer have myself the old Xbox 360 console, and because of this though, we've managed to able to go ourselves the Xbox 360 Slim, and so far we've managed to able to complete story mode off screen, so either way though, that way we can able to easily decide to catch up, so... In fact, speaking of Rio, the video game from the Xbox 360 version, I don't know if we might able to actually do a redo Let's Play of that game, just because when I've looked back on it, although the quality itself is fine, however though, I wouldn't say it applies to the sound mixing issues, which, I'm afraid to tell you is the fact that the sound mixing issue is actually just the worst part about that Let's Play, so... Oh, sweet! Mother of Gloriousness! We have ourselves 20 coins from the Koopa Bank. That's awesome. Yeah, anyway though, because of that though, we'll have to wait and see what happens during at some point, sometime in 2021, although depending of such though, just because obviously we need to do a whole bunch of like redo Let's Plays and during at some point next year, specifically Mario Party 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then eventually in 2022, we can able to do a redo Let's Play of Mario Party 7 and 8, and then that way, that should wrap up the series, assuming if, you know, Nintendo decides to make a next one. Well, to be more specifically, that, well, some people are usually hoping that it's not going to be ND Cube or something like that, because they actually made, like, I would say 6 of them right now. Like, 6 Mario Party games developed by ND Cube, which, that seems quite a lot. Even though, despite the fact that most fans were slightly disappointed with 9 and 10 just because of the different gameplay style. And then, Super Mario Party was actually a better game overall in terms of ND Cube Mario Party titles. However though, that could not be applied with the forms of the board layouts, just because the boards in Super Mario Party was actually super small, and especially noticeable it has the smallest amount, like they only got about 4 of them, unless if you want to count another 4 for Partner Party, but it's more likely the exact same theme, aside from the actual different layout and everything, so... But let's just hope until when Super Mario Party 2 was a thing, and then eventually they were able to actually fix a lot of problems with the original game had. So, anyway. And yeah, as I said before, that usually if someone is involved with that particular Bowser Coin Laser Beam section, basically it's the fact that you will lose all of your coins, but if someone managed to do not get involved with that at all, basically you would be able to guarantee that you would able to actually, well, Bowser will not fire the Coin Laser Beam, so... And then as far as I'm aware is the fact that in the middle section of the board, every time you, it doesn't matter which way you're gonna go, either up, down, left or right, basically one of those numbers will able to decrease by 1, so either way though, and again when it reaches to 0, the actual coin beam will start to active, unless if you really want to try to escape from that, so... Alright, Slot Car Derby, another new minigame we're going to be playing through, and it's also the returning minigame from Mario Party 1, which is pretty cool. The first one to complete 4 laps in the Slot Car Derby wins. Don't spin out by speeding around curves. And differently this time around though, compared to the original game, is the fact that we now have 3 courses this time around. Even then though, speaking of such though, is the fact that this particular version of Slot Car Derby managed to make its return until Mario Party the Top 100 exists. Although except the fact that in the Top 100 version it just only gets 1 track as opposed to 3 tracks, which is kinda sad honestly, because even then I would love to see all 3 tracks in action with a much more better visuals than ever before, but no, instead we've only got just 1 track and that's it, so... Which is kind of a shame really, because the concept on the Top 100 is cool, but unfortunately though, I don't exactly appreciate what the platform of consoles is actually placed it into. Ah, no. Okay, good. Whew. Almost gonna get myself screwed over, and I've almost got myself a new record on that as well, if only if I don't spin out twice. Even though I would like to try this again on my own time, but it might be a little bit too late for this point, so... Oh well, no big deal, no big deal. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, is the fact that these happening spaces right here, basically this will activate the actual, one of those, traps that you would able to actually get pushed back. And if you somehow manage to place one of those traps from either the top, the bottom right corner, as well as the top left corner, basically it's the fact that you go down even or further away further than ever before, and basically you were able to actually miss your chance to able to actually get yourself some stars or just trying to able to get progress. So, oh sweet, I got a 10, so that means I get myself another star. And eventually also is the fact that we might able to steal something from Boo. In fact, I might able to actually steal something from... I might as well able to steal coins to Yoshi, because he actually got, well, 29 coins at the moment, and the next star is going to be at this deadly, well, Bowser Coin Laser Beam Diagonal Route, so we better have to watch out for that. So, speaking of these Boo spots, much like the forms of Western Land, basically this board contains 2 Boo spots, so that way you can get yourselves the best opportunity to you able to actually just to go any kind of routes you can take, but it wasn't until whenever we get onto the 5th board in the game, it will be so amazing. Like, either way though, we'll point things out whenever we get onto December, because, well, at this point in time is the fact that we almost nearly at the end of November already, despite the fact that November was actually pretty rough in our country, so yeah, I would have appreciated that. So, I would like to go to the left, but because of how the fact that it might take a bit of while to able to actually just to go there, so I might as well just go down, so... Oh, what can we get in here, I wonder? Ah, just coins. I'm really hoping I can get myself a star, so that way it will become a lot more dominated than ever before. But no, I just got 20 coins. But I'm fine with that. Especially noticeable, I think I'm in the lead in terms of the coin star at this point, so... But either way though, we'll have to wait and see what happens during at the very end of this board at some point tomorrow, so... Alright, Titan Pole Pound, we've already played this before, so either way though, hopefully we should be able to win this again. And yeah, another thing I just want to point out right away is the fact that, excuse me, I'm really sorry about this point, folks. Potentially speaking, is the fact that, unfortunately though, that the PlayStation 5, as well as the Xbox Series X, is still currently unavailable. Like, the pre-orders hasn't got any single stockings for this point. So, I feel incredibly bad for most, PlayStation 5 fans, and especially noticeable with Xbox Series X fanboys out there. Well, they're expecting to able to actually get, eventually at some point in next month in Christmas, that, unfortunately though, they can't seem to able to get PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X because of the actual stocking issues, which, is, still, I'm feeling incredibly bad for it, especially because since how this year has actually gone really bad. Although, there are some good parts though of the year, I will say this right now, which there are, obviously the Sonic the Hedgehog movie has been already just recently released. Like, I would say that particular film was almost about 1 year old, until specifically in 2021, in February. So, but either way though, that can appreciate for that such. Alright, so it looks like DK... What the? Okay, that's rather odd. He just gave him 5 coins. For Baby Bowser anyway. And of course, he will steal coins to me because I got the most coins due to the forms of hidden block that I've got from the previous turn. Come on, hopefully I don't get my 20 coins away. Ah, son of a... There goes my 20 coins from my hidden block. Screw you, DK. And sure enough, you'll land on the exact same spot as I do. Oh yeah, another thing I just want to talk about this actually is the fact that, ever since that, Sonic and Knuckles have already mentioned about this before, ever since in their Let's Play of Super Smash Bros., or specifically Defi has already mentioned about this either, basically, it turns out that we were originally thinking about the fact that, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on a Run, did manage to, was originally able to be releasing until next year from everywhere else, most notably the UK or anything else like that. But it turns out, in joining forms of a Netflix, I managed to able to actually access to SpongeBob SquarePants Movie 3, Sponge on the Run, on Netflix in 2020 in our country, which is pretty cool, I have to say. Although, I'm pretty sure that, you know, Sonic and Knuckles have already mentioned about that ever since in their Super Smash Bros. Let's Play. And because of that, though, they have mentioned about the fact that, well, unfortunately for the UK, or the American version I should say, they still need to wait until the 2021 release. Like, what is this? Like, well, not to be more specific release date just yet, but usually relatively speaking, what is this? Like, My Little Pony Pony Life all over again? Like, joining forms within the summer? Well, except the fact that the biggest difference is now is, of course, it's a SpongeBob movie, so... Speaking of My Little Pony stuff, is the fact that, the second movie is about to be on its way, still in 2021, if depending on the forms of, you know, the stupid pandemic is actually going to be involved. Although it won't be, I don't know, delayed or stay put in 2021. Well, it's kind of hard to able to, like, mention about this right now, just because, well, let's just hope until this year will be get done and over with. Aside from, you know, just trying to able to think about the positive stuff, like playing Mario Party 2, as you can tell I'm playing right now. And especially noticeable about the fact that, well, just be hoping we can able to actually just think about something we can get for this year's Christmas, even though there might be some sad parts to it though, which, again, we'll point it out whenever we, when the Christmas is about to be on its horizon, so... And yeah, I finally win in the Honeycomb Havoc minigame now, so how's that for that? I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this too is that recently I've managed to able to complete myself another Metroid game, which appears to be by the forms of, well, Metroid Other M. Even though some Metroid fans might find it a bit disappointing compared to the forms of Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion, or even especially noticeable with the Metroid Prime trilogy, and that's as far as I can usually think about that, especially how tedious the overriding the actual upgrade system is, like, super tedious. Like, you know, you probably guys should know what I'm talking about right here, but either way, though, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Alright, so DK is gonna activate that particular trap down there, so even then though, again, if someone managed to land on a happening space, we have to go all the way back slightly to different parts of the actual board. So, but either way though, we'll get how to avoid that. Alright, bowl over, another Mario Party 1 minigame returning to this game, and also a new minigame we can play through. So, go bowling with a Koopa shell. You win if you knock down all your bowling pin rivals. You get to bowl with 2 shells. So yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as Mario Party 1 counterpart, except now it takes place in a different environment. Like, originally it was usually in, let's say in a church shrine or something like that, but now it takes place in some sort of like a highest canyons or something like that, or Grand Canyon. And also, as you can tell, is the fact that rather than just having 1 shell this time with you, instead you actually get yourselves 2 shells to throw. So that'll give us a lot of advantage for the team of 1 this time around though. Especially because that you don't have to worry about the forms of just trying to get a strike or spear or anything like that, even though for whatever reason Yoshi just somehow goes after those, you know, these coin pins, as you can see. I'm guessing because of how fat that he really wants to get even more coins, and because of that though, oh, I just realized he got about 15 coins from that, the Koopa Bank space that he just somehow landed on. Okay, that seems very lucky for him anyway. And talking of which, I think Peach might able to go after her next star, so yeah, that seems very obvious for her. But since I still managed to get myself 2 stars so far, which at this point in time I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to be dominated it for the most part. And speaking of Yoshi, there's the next star is going to be right up there. And it looks like Yoshi will definitely guarantee to get that star. And Baby Bowser is now down there, so that's not much else to obviously try to say about this for the most part. Alright, so it looks like Peach is gonna go up right where the star is, even though despite the fact that she doesn't have enough coins. So, yeah, as I said before, is the fact that this board does contain 2 boost spots. Like one of them, as you saw, that we have already managed to come across into him, just almost right near to Bowser's coin laser beam. And also there's going to be another one that in order to be able to actually access to him, that you have to able to require a skeleton key for that. So, yeah, that's one point out. I would like to go to the left, but I'm actually going to go that way because I just have no idea why I'm just really going that way for. Okay, lights out. I think we've already played this before, so, and this time around though, rather than carrying the light bulb, instead, I can now able to actually smack, well, the 3 players by using a hammer. And hopefully, they'll able to actually just get their light bulbs smashed completely. Alright, come here. And also to you, DK, and Peach somehow got stuck. Wow. That was pathetic on their part. Like, literally, Peach just somehow gets stuck by stunned up Yoshi, and because of that though, yeah, I can simply just manage to make it in nick of time for able to win a minigame. Speaking of such though, here's the item minigame for Space Land, which as what Peach managed to land on, that is known as Hammer Slammer. And basically all you have to do is just use the mighty of the hammer, and then obviously depending on what pressure of your power with your hammer that you can deal with it, that well, you don't want to be too much of power trying to build up with it, so you have to be like, well, it might be hard to explain because it has been a while since I actually played this board. And it looks like Peach got screwed over because she doesn't have an item. And I believe if you manage to have too much power onto that particular hammer strike, and then if the shuttle managed to managed to get hit by that top portion of that particular, well, the ring part, and basically it'll knock it all the way down to Baby Bowser. So yeah, just have to watch out for that. I believe to be able to build up power, I'm pretty sure you have to press the A button rapidly, and then pressing the B button will able to actually release the hammer or something, even though that has been a while since I actually did manage to play this board, because I'm pretty much used to with my favorite boards in the entire series. Well, to be more specifically, my favorite board in Mario Party 1 is of course Mario's Rainbow Castle, and honestly my favorite board in Mario Party 9 actually will have to be Toad Road, just because it's not my kind of style with Mario Party. And as far as Mario Party 10 boards is concerned, I would say Chaos Castle was actually the best board of that particular game, because it feels long enough and epic enough, well, to be more specifically in Bowser Party specifically, and I really can't able to have any comments on, well, minigame match in the top 100, because it's, to me, it's kind of pointless, and also any other whole bunch of stages in Toad Scramble mode and Star Rush, and I can't really tell if what's my favorite board in terms of Mario Party Island Tour as far as I'm concerned, and even Super Mario Party, because there was only like 4 boards in that game. And to top it all off is the fact that it's kind of hard to tell which is one of my favorite boards in Mario Party DS, but then again though, I'm pretty sure I need to able to research on it a bit more, so. Okay, bombs away, another Mario Party 1 minigame returning to this game, and there's also a brand new minigame to play through. So, the floating isle is under fire again, this time from Bowser's bombs. Hang on tight to win the prize. So basically it's kind of like the same thing as the original Mario Party, except the fact that he's now got himself some more weapons. Although you still need to avoid those little cannonballs like before, except the fact that now he's able to actually unleash himself some more weapons, such as the Bullet Bills, as well as the Grand Finale Bowser Bullet Bill that you definitely need to avoid. Even though I have to admit though, those Bullet Bills are incredibly powerful. Even then though, that might actually be something more related to that, well, jumping you have to deal with right here, so. And obviously, as you can see right there, I do actually kind of like this particular Bowser ship in this game a bit more than the forms of how it does it on the ones in Mario Party 1 counterparts, at least to me anyway, because, Although I kind of wish if Mario Party 2 Bombs Away a variation will make its return in the top 100, so that way this makes everything else on that version a lot more epic. But no, we actually get ourselves the Mario Party 1 variation, which I don't honestly mind this at all, aside from the fact that, well, it might be a little bit simple and stuff like that. So, like, I just wish there was actually more variety in them. Just saying. Anyway, so it looks like Yoshi might able to actually steal some coins to me. I highly doubt it, because obviously I've got 91 coins so far out of it, so... yeah, it's time to do some more button mashing time here. Oh, goodness gracious me. And let's see what coins he gets. He gets about 18 coins. Oh, jeez, that sounds... alright, but I kinda wish I can able to actually just to let him get lesser amount of coins. But then again though, I really did try my best able to do a lot of button mashing going on, so... okay, so looks like DK's gonna meet up with Bowser here, so... and let's see what events he's gonna do this time. And it turns out it's gonna be... Bowser's Chance Time. So technically we get ourselves a chance time right here, folks, except the fact that it's basically a Bowser version. Alright, so let's see what DK is gonna choose for. Please don't be me. Please don't be me. Okay, thank goodness. And Peach somehow might able to lose about 20 coins. Jeez, that must have felt very painful for her. And she doesn't have any coins anymore. Although she got herself a star, of course. And I'm pretty sure, speaking of stars though, actually, I'm pretty much guaranteed about the fact that DK might able to get himself his next star until the next turn. So I would able to actually guessing that correctly, so... alright, I'm also buying the item right here. I might as well buy the golden mushroom, so that way I can able to boost my movements and stuff like that until the next turn. Even though that's, well, it might be kind of possible for able to actually do all this kinds of stuff. Okay, Rainbow Run again, even though that's, even then though, speaking of such though, is the fact that DK is gonna do a tightrope, you know, controlling again. So, even then there's nothing else to be say about this for the most part. But hopefully we'll try and able to stun him quite a few times, and eventually we will able to actually win this for sure. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point as well is the fact that whenever we get onto the final thing of this game, the minigame coaster, between Dungeon Dash as well as Rainbow Run are not going to be included, which, spoiler alert, because of how the fact that, well, we'll discuss more about that until whenever we get onto minigame coaster, which either way though, that, well, we might as well mention about that until specifically whenever we get into minigame stadium at some point in December. Around that time, almost until likely Christmas time. So, but either way though, we'll just have to wait and see. So either way though, yeah, let's just go ahead and keep on firing those cannonballs right at Donkey Kong, or DK for short. Speaking of Donkey Kong actually, it's the fact that recently another game that I've recently managed to complete it 100% of, and that was the forms of Donkey Kong Country 3 for the Game Boy Advance version, because the reason why I just did that is because eventually until next year, then we'll definitely go ahead and deal with our Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, and doing that at some point next year. So I'm really looking forward to able to actually just well, do that Let's Play in particular. But I don't know if some toys else can able to actually do that Let's Play at this point, just because we're not exactly at 2021 yet, so... But then again, we'll have to wait and find out. So it looks like Yoshi's gonna use himself the golden mushroom, so that way I think he'll get his opportunity to able to get himself his next star, although it may not likely, because he goes 5, 5, and 4. He's almost got himself these triple 5s for that roll, but even then it's almost like pretty close. But I digress. I do say though, I really like the actual atmosphere as well as the actual music of this board, but I wouldn't say it's not one of my favorite boards, although one of my least favorite boards in this game, that we'll discuss more about that and during at some point next weekend, because I'm sure most people already know what I'm talking about, what the actual next board is coming up next. But then again though, I'm not exactly looking forward to the next board, because It kind of does the same thing for how it does it as in the forms of the original Mario Party. You know that board named Warriors Battle Canyon? Yeah, I'm pretty much not looking forward to that particular next board. Assuming if we're able to actually done with this Spaceland board first, so... Okay, so it looks like DK is gonna purchase the Skeleton Key, which, I don't know if he might able to actually go after Boo or something like that, but then again, we'll see what happens. And speaking of such, he sets a trap, which I definitely need to avoid not only the trap, but also the happening space as well.